This MailChimp-verific jingle is brought to you by MailChimp.
MailChimp, your marketing with AI and more. Advanced automations to connect to your store. MailChimp, your marketing and boost your clicks. Multi-channel campaigns now with SMS. That's lit.
MailChimp your marketing today with the #1 AI-powered email marketing and automation platform, Intuit MailChimp. #1 based on publicly available data on competitors' customers. Plans vary. SMS available as add-on. Visit MailChimp.com.
This is the way.
We want it men.
Welcome to episode 252 of the Smugglers Galaxy podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy. I'm Glenn. It's Jason. I forgot to turn my ring light on. We are recovering from 4th of July. Jason, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Didn't really do much.
Huh? You didn't party too much?
No. Did you?
No, we just didn't get to bed till like midnight, which is not a big deal.
What were you doing?
Watching Sinners.
Oh, is it a good movie? I meant to watch it this morning. I haven't had time.
Dude, it is. It's really good.
Is it gory and scary?
No.
Okay.
It's not. I really think that a lot of people are saying like movies are gory and scary. Yes, there's some gore in it, but I think it's so far, you got to go to like maybe Saw movies to get that gore now, because now everybody's, oh, it's a scary movie. And it's just, we grew up with Freddy and Jason, and those were gory. These are like, oh, it's a vampire.
Maybe you did. I was never into that kind of stuff. Horror is not my genre.
No, it's not my genre anymore. But I'm getting to the point because, there was Sinners, and then what was it? Get Out. No, I didn't watch Get Out in it, but like the one with the aliens on the farm.
Nope.
Yeah, that was like, oh, it's a horror movie. I'm like, no, that's not horror.
No.
In my book, it more of a Saw, or Freddy and Jason, or Eyes Have Hills Have Eyes. I've heard that one was pretty scary. So
yeah.
It's not a horror. It's a vampire. It's a good vampire movie.
There's a theory about what NOPE stands for. Did you hear about that?
Nuh-uh. Nope.
It stands for not of planet Earth.
Well, then that would make sense.
That's a theory. Jordan Peele hasn't come out and said, "Yeah, that's it." It's just a theory.
A theory. I enjoyed that movie. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in, but sometimes I enjoy the movies that take a minute, that are a little slow developing. But I mean, Sinners kind of is a little bit slow, but then about halfway through it just picks up.
I saw that they bought a lot of the costumes that were supposed to be used for the Blade movie for Sinners. They were making a new Blade with Mahershala
Right.
Ali,
Uh-huh.
and it was going to be a period piece.
Okay.
That takes place in the 20s.
Well, then that makes sense.
And so apparently they just bought all of the costumes for that and just used it for Sinners.
Well, then that makes perfect sense, because Sinners takes place in the 20s.
So yeah, I'll watch it eventually, maybe later today.
Well, that's why I gave you that look, because to me, Blade is not a 1920s movie.
No, it's not. And they need to get Blade off the ground. They've got an incredible actor on that thing, but they can't seem to crack it. They've been trying to do this thing for like 6-7 years now.
Right. I mean, maybe Sling Blade, but Blade.
Sling Blade?
Billy Bob Thornton,
Yeah, I
biscuits
know.
and mustard.
That's a deep cut.
Yes, it is.
Did you pick anything up this week?
I did. I got a first shot arm and briefcase of Rufus from Bill and Ted. So it was offered to me, and I said, yes, I want it, but I'm on pay hold right now. So it'll take me a minute to pay for it. And
What
next
did
thing
you
I
call
know, I'm,
yourself?
huh?
What did you call yourself?
Pay hold.
Oh, you're a pay hole.
Yeah, it's a pay hole. Yeah. I was like, dude, I'm on restrictions. I can't really buy anything right now. So give me a minute to pay for it. And then next thing I know, I'm getting a shipping notification and I messaged the guy and I'm like, dude, I hadn't paid for this yet. He goes, I was going to the post office. So I gotta pay for it. But then I also want a pair of Red Wings, Red Wing boots.
How'd you get that?
So the Red Wing store near us was just posted on Instagram that, hey, during the month of June, anybody who posts on our things, or tag a person and we'll put you in a drawing. And they also own a store in Roswell. So like I entered both of them and I was the only one that entered the store in Roswell for the one in Roswell. So
Oh, you
I
should
got
have
me a
told
pair.
me. That way you'd have some competition.
You don't wear boots though.
Well, I'm supposed to on a construction site,
Oh,
but I don't.
oh, and they don't provide you with boots?
No, you got to provide your own. There's a limit to the PPE that they provide me,
No, okay.
and boots is not one of them. It's more of a personal thing.
All right. You at least you have to put the little toe caps on your shoes. Hey, toe
No,
caps on your shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really go to job sites that often. I'm more of a office kind of guy.
Somebody needs a new microphone.
It's still not back, is it?
No, it's not. Jason needs a new
Yeah, but
microphone.
I'm not connecting. You could hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you through your Mac.
Um, here. I got. So is that it? Just your free boots?
My free boots and the first shot arm. But yeah, that's all I've got. It's slow right now.
I'm gonna share my screen. I'll explain this to people online. Um, so there's a website, eMovie Posters, and I won this a couple weeks ago. I was waiting for the shipping notice, which should happen any day now,
Hmm.
but it hasn't.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I got a Tom Whalen print. Tom Whalen did the Rogue Fun boxes, but he did a Jabba the Hutt scene with Ula, Ajawa, Bib Fortuna, Han Solo, and Salacious Crumb kind of popping out in the corner.
Hmm.
It's a Mondo print, which is something that I've always wanted, a Mondo print, and I've just been waiting for the right one to strike.
Right.
And because we've got that connection with Tom, with Rogue Fun, it's Salacious Crumb, it's Return of the Jedi, it's got a lot of, it's that vector art, which I love his style.
Yeah.
They decided to strike. So I should be getting this in the next week or two.
Yeah, that
But
looks great.
yeah, so I'll have to get it framed and find a place I have to redo my walls, I guess, to find a place for this because this will, take prominent set
Yeah.
placements in the collection somehow.
Just whatever's over your fireplace, take that down and put that up.
Yeah, I'm sure the wife won't have a problem with that.
No, she wanted it all.
But that's really all I got. I'm still waiting on Hasbro to ship my land speeder.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I've seen it, or I don't know. Was there a big release on Hasbro Pulse or no? No, it
Not
wasn't.
for
Was it?
Star Wars, no.
Okay,
They did announce a new Lego set, Wicket. Did you see that?
I did see that.
We don't
Uh,
normally report on Lego stuff, but since it's an Ewok and that's sort of your wife's jam, and
yeah, I showed it to her, and she was like, "Ooh," and I said, "It's probably about $100 set, and I want the chopper one that they released 2 months ago. So if I was going to spend $100 on Legos, it would be my chopper."
you're drawing a line in the sand. This is mine first. I get Chopper before you get Wicket, and if you break this contract, you have to sleep on the couch.
You're right. Um, which would end up me being sleeping on the couch, not her. I did see because her birthday's at the end of the month. There is a set, and she's not here, and she doesn't listen to the podcast, and
That you know of.
that I know of. That at least yeah, she's like, I can barely stand your voice in real life. Not really. Um, they did a Day of the Dead, like one of the a one of their cheaper sets. It's like 200 pieces, so it's like $15, and it's a sugar skull, and then on the back of the sugar skull is an altar, like the Day of the Dead altar.
Yeah.
And but it releases August 1st. and her birthday's July 24th. And I'm like,
Can you
why couldn't
pre-order
y'all?
it?
I guess I could. Let
Pre-order
me
it and then print it out and then get a card and then fold like the thing and put it in the card and say this is coming in a couple days.
All right, here you go. Happy birthday. Which I had to do that with Big Bad Toy Store because stuff that I had ordered took 6 months to get here. And she finally got her Gremlins, the Gizmo, the little kid in the Gizmo costume.
Yeah.
Finally got that after like 6 months. It was supposed to be, it came out in October of last year. They announced it, and it was supposed to be Christmas, and it ended up being maybe an early birthday present.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. You didn't mention that.
So, yeah. She was like, "What's this big bag toy store for like $3?" Because I had so much credit with them from the Operation Monster Force stuff that I canceled. That there it is,
There. I
there.
have
So
some news.
okay,
I think the big news is that the I guess we reported a couple weeks ago that AFA was bought, but we didn't say who.
yeah, we didn't know who.
We didn't know who.
I didn't even know they were bought, but maybe I missed. I don't remember. But anyway,
It was in the show description. I was just looking at it and trying to figure out why we had stellar numbers for that one episode and everything else seems to be low. Um, but yeah, Andrew Aiello, Tom Derby, and what was the other dude's name?
Ben something, but not the Ben. According to
Ben
Narayan, not the
Davis.
Ben
Ben
Davis,
Davis.
which is not the Ben we know.
Yeah. They went ahead and purchased two of them are investors. Well, that's how they list it, collectors slash investors. And then Tom Derby obviously has been in the community and he's sort of a collector investor too. They've purchased it and AFA is still going to be collector controlled. I'm happy that it's not in the hands of a giant corporation anymore, that it's going to be collector focused, that it's people that understand the hobby. Um, the question around Hakes is no longer applicable. You know, will
Right,
Hakes get something and then saying this 85 could be a 90, send it down to AFA and grade it a 90 so we can get more money from it. We're not saying that that's ever happened, but that was a big concern in the collecting community. How do you trust this kind of stuff?
right,
Um, because foolishness like that could have happened, but there's a separation now between Hakes and AFA, so that's no longer a concern. And yeah, it's staying in Georgia. I don't think anybody's going to lose their job.
That's, I
Um,
think, the most important part. I mean, I understand the collector issue, but I was more worried about it leaving Georgia because, I mean, we've got good friends that work there, and I'd hate for them to have lost their jobs over it.
I also don't like the changing of hands so often in the past, what, 4 or 5 years? I can't remember exactly, but hopefully this will provide some stability for the company
Right,
and they can be innovative. They can focus on customers again and doing what they need to do and no corporate mandates, just do your thing and we'll see. I don't know, but
right. No, I'm excited for the changes. It's good. I'm glad Tom was able to buy it back because I know he sold it years ago, and he's able to get his company back and hopefully put it in the right direction. I'm excited, man. Like I said, we're very lucky that AFA is local because we are the beneficiary of that because you do have people that stop in, high-end collectors that don't want their stuff shipped. So they'll fly into town and contact Narayan and be like, "Hey, let's hang out." Um, so it is, or like our events like Rogue Fun and then the Summer Social will benefit from that because people they make their plans, you know. So they'll knock out a bunch of stuff in one hit. As far as coming down here for us and or coming down here for a club event and then hitting AFA while they're here.
right. And
But no,
then yeah, so that's AFA. Good news there. Bad news for original trilogy fans. Admiral Piet actor Kenneth Coley passed away this week at the age of 87. He broke his arm and went to the hospital and got COVID and passed away. So
oh man,
not a good story there, but
yeah.
may he be part of the force and may the force be with you.
Well, when it's going to start happening more and more because the movie's hits 50 in a couple of years. So you're talking 70, 80-year-old actors for
This
people.
one, yeah. Sorry, I
No, you're
didn't mean to
good,
cut
man.
you off.
No, we're back to that again.
Yeah, I guess we are. But yeah, it's sad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Period. Moving on. This one we should have had on the bingo card because it's so out of left field. There's a scooper named Daniel Rickman who's got a wishy-washy. He's with the Direct, which is an online publication. He's reporting that Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2 is now in development at Lucasfilm. That doesn't mean it's going to go forward, but that the fact that they're in development for this is
Hmm.
pretty surprising.
Very interesting.
I am part of the minority that enjoyed it. It's not perfect, but I think it's got a very deep emotional core.
Right.
Um, and I enjoyed it, like I said, and I look forward to season 2. I welcome it. Hopefully they can make improvements.
Hmm.
Hopefully the company's learned a little bit from Andor. Hopefully, keep saying that. Hopefully people were paying attention to the development of Andor and how that was made, and they can uh, pass that along to future showrunners and improve their storytelling and be more focused and take their time. Don't give fans the service that they think they want so much.
Right. No, yeah, no, I enjoyed the Andor. I enjoyed Obi-Wan. I know you love your man crush Hewan, so you'll watch anything that he's in. Uh, but no, I think if they do it right, it would be very good and they very good show. And they left it kind of open ended, you know, so he can learn. You can show him learning how to use the Force,
Yeah, it
being
might
a
be
Force ghost and stuff.
a very trippy season too if it's just him learning things through the Force.
Hmm. I wonder if he would go to World Between Worlds.
It would be that kind of stuff though.
Right.
Like he gets caught up in the Force. He doesn't go between the world between worlds, but he does see things and dream things, and I don't know.
And also, okay, so I'm going to bring back up something from a couple of weeks ago that we covered. Um, so they changed the end of Jedi and took out Sebastian and put in Chris
Hayden.
Hayden Christensen. Why wouldn't they have taken out and swapped out Obi-Wan too?
Um, the in-universe thing is that when you become part of the Force and you first make your appearance or you first become conscious that you're in the Force, you revert back to a younger version of yourself.
Uh-huh.
So because in A New Hope there's some time well, I mean, there's not a lot of time, but there is some time between when Kenobi dies and the attack on the Death Star.
Hmm.
But there is a chance that, he was able to revert back to his younger self. And even the book, from a certain point of view, talks about this, how he wakes up and he sees himself as a younger person, and then he kind of slowly goes back to his older version of his older self. And then he's, old Obi-Wan when Luke is attacking the Death Star. Use the Force, Luke. It's not.
Not young Obi. Okay. Well, and I guess, and I also think I thought I answered. I think I figured it out while you were talking, because the easy answer is because he's already appeared as old Obi-Wan in Force form. So why would they revert him back?
Right. But for Anakin, he essentially just became part of the Force, and maybe he's just waking up on Endor,
Yeah.
and he's reverted back to his younger self.
Hey, are you burning me? What's going on with that?
Am I what, you?
Are you burning me?
Burning you?
Right. Never mind. Because he was burning.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me personally if I was
No.
burning you, like
No.
if I was making fun of you or something. Burn.
Yeah.
And and then the other weird one this week was that, and I have no idea what this website was. It was what, disinformation? No, that's not it. That's not it at all. It was the Indiana Jones rumor.
Oh, yeah.
Remember I sent it to you and Jordan, and I was like, "What is this site?" Because they were reporting that Lucasfilm is considering rebooting Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I mean, and we did talk. It's like if they were going to do the ride, which they're getting ready to do, maybe they need something, something to boost that ride, which
Yeah,
would make sense.
yeah. Disney's a good synergy machine, and usually when they've got a ride, they've got IP that they're trying to promote and get the most eyes on it to bring people to the theater and also bring them to Walt Disney World, or at least that's the idea, is to just overwhelm people with marketing that they have no choice but to do the thing that they want to do.
Right.
Which I'm surprised there's not like a Monsters Inc. 3 in development with the new Monsters Land. But with that set aside, I don't know. I don't. That'll be rough to go to an Indiana Jones movie without John Williams, without Steven Spielberg, without Harrison Ford.
Yeah. So you think it would be like a total reboot? It wouldn't be, oh, this is Harrison Ford's, I mean, our Indy's son.
Well, I don't know because it's like with James Bond, they update him
Yeah.
for the times. So like Daniel Craig took place in present day, but they could have gone back and made like a Cold War era spy thriller and kept the essence of a British spy against the Russians, and they didn't do that. It's just more of a worldview of spying today. There's people in the Middle East. There's people trying to do banking things, nefarious banking plans, I guess. And so, would Indiana Jones be rebooted for today? Is that how you approach it, to kind of completely remove it from what we've known of Indiana Jones?
Hmm.
But then again, there's plenty of movies that have done that. The Uncharted movies. There's a Safari movie which nobody remembers with Matthew McConaughey. All right. There's also like the Mummy movies were
Yeah.
inspired by Indiana Jones. So it's a formula that's been repeated before. Indiana Jones is special because it's serialized. It's Spielberg. It's all of those things I mentioned before.
Right.
I
I mean,
just don't
even
know.
the shoot, the John Krasinski movie that was on Apple.
Yep.
That's an
Yep.
Indiana Jones ripoff, and I thought it was a pretty fair movie.
I need to watch it because I mean I haven't seen it yet, but the only thing I've heard that it wasn't good. So
Like I've been saying, man, if I can watch a movie free in my house, my expectations go way down. It's like if I can kill 2 hours watching a movie and be slightly entertained, uh,
and that
I'm I'm good with it. Yeah.
that's part of the problem is that people are lowering their expectations that when they go to the theater and spend money, it's like the same level of quality and time have been put into these movies. Like Superman's already getting wishy-washy reviews, and it's like, well, this is an important film. Why did you approach it this way?
Hmm.
Or I haven't seen it. I see it on Tuesday, so
You're right. I'm going to go see Jurassic Park, the new Jurassic Park tonight.
even that I've heard
Yeah,
wish.
that's gotten panned.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm curious. We got my daughter had gotten some Groupon tickets and was like, "Hey, do you want them?" Because they were expiring. So I wanted to go see Spinal Tap. I was going to go see Spinal Tap today, and then when we got the tickets, the free tickets, I was like, "All right." My wife wanted to go see Jurassic Park, so
You just wait in September and you go see the sequel.
yeah, Spinal Tap. I wanted to, but I've never seen Spinal Tap in the theater. I don't know if I'd enjoy seeing it in the theater. Or, it's sort of like Back to the Future. Would you want, I think I would want to see Back to the Future in the theater, but would it be somebody just, oh, I have a digital file and I'm going to play it.
It's probably what it is.
Yeah. So you don't get you don't get the full effect or, it's not the audio isn't as good.
Yep. And then finally, somebody commented on one of our older videos about an update to the Vintage Collection Book 2.
Uh-huh.
So I spoke to Rich and I'm prepared to provide a statement on behalf of Blue Milk. And so this is an exclusive.
Okay.
It's an exclusive via Smugglers Galaxy podcast for anybody who's reporting on that, which will be nobody.
Right. What
Um,
podcast? There's a podcast?
exactly. But yes, I did speak with Rich, the author and publisher of the Vintage Collection Archive Edition. The Vintage Collection Archive Edition, Volume 2 is in production. And by production, I mean it's in the process of being made. But it should be done by the end of this year. So look for a Q4 2025 release or a Q1 2026. Yeah, so it'll be done by the end of the year. And then when it does get close to being finished and shipped out, that's when pre-orders will open up.
Awesome.
So that's your exclusive. That's your update. That's all I have
That's all I got to
prepared.
say about that.
That's all I have prepared to say about the Vintage Collection Archive Edition Volume 2, but yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's pretty fun to can I speak on a little what I've seen or not what I've seen, but I'm not into specifics, but
I don't
you
know.
well if you know what if I say too much, we'll edit it out. But it's fun to watch you guys work on that book, and seeing the background of it and seeing the first run of the book and now seeing what the work that really goes into making the book. It's been fun watching that. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, the second edition.
Yep. Me too.
So you want to talk about the message we got from Jerry/Randy? Or
Yeah,
did you have more to talk about?
one more thing I just wanted to
Yes.
mention real briefly. So if you're going to the summer social, the Georgia Alliance summer social, uh, we will be unveiling the Rogue Fun 2 Fun and Villainy schedule there.
Ooh.
Um, Next week we'll talk about the schedule a little bit and share
Okay.
that and share our thoughts. So if you're a fan of the podcast, you'll get a Tuesday morning, you'll get a preview of what we're going to announce Tuesday night on the club page or the Rogue Fun page. You'll get the full run of show for Rogue Fun 2.
I guess I need to pay better attention to that chat. It does get kind of crazy sometimes. And I know I miss stuff because that chat gets crazy as
Yeah.
far as like to add the background chat of Rogue Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that has been mentioned other than just at one point between Orion and I.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember if we did this in the big, I think it was in
There's too many
the
chats
group
there.
chat. There's too many chats and there's too many Rogue Fun, Star Wars groups.
Yeah. Because I had a buddy yell at me because he's like, I joined. We do a Zoom call on Saturday nights, and I was on it, and one of the guys was like, I invited you to this group that I invented, and I'm like, dude, I get group invites all day long, and I never pay attention to them because they're mostly like somebody who wants to sell me toys,
Need
and then
any
you
more
keep
of
getting to
that?
add everybody, and you're like, who the hell is this?
I don't need that. So, but yeah, that's it. So you'll get a preview on the podcast, and then Tuesday night will be the full reveal. But when I say full reveal, like the programming for Rogue Fun won't be unveiled. It's just the weekend activities. I'll put it that way.
Okay, awesome.
What did you want to talk about? Because I could use a break and breather.
All right, let me find the see there again. I've got all these chats. There we go. So we've got a mess. Let me see if I want to open this so I can read it better. I'm going to bring it over here. So we got a message from our buddy Jerry/Randy, which is always a debate. It's like, what do we want to call this guy? So he goes by both. I tell everybody he will answer to either one because that's him. So our buddy Jerry/Randy, I'll just call him Jerry because that's what I've called him forever. And you call him Randy, and you can call me Jay and you can call me Ray, but don't call me Ray J. Anyway, so he sent us this message, and I'll kind of
Well, before you set
yes.
it up first, what were we talking about that the message is related to?
We were talking about last week about George Lucas, how he was either a good storyteller or a good marketer, and why did he keep coming back to the Star Wars? Why did he keep redoing the Star Wars trilogy? And just why didn't he just leave it alone? And was the debate if he didn't keep bringing it up and keep re-releasing it because he updated it, would it die? Would it have died off?
The
And I
franchise.
was, huh?
The franchise,
The
yeah.
franchise. So I was my debate was, well, he was more of a good marketer because, excuse me, that's how, he kept it fresh. And your debate was, well, he was a good storyteller. And that's why the stories are fresh. So Jerry had sent us a message and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to come back over here. Basically, he brought, come on.
Want me
Sorry,
to read it?
people.
I got it here.
No, I just want to be able to read it where I can read it better. There it is. I got it. He basically brought There it is. So he compared George Lucas to Kiss, and you're just like, who's Kiss?
No, I know who Kiss is. I just don't care about Kiss. So I don't
So
follow it.
right. So his all right. So he was like, I will use. He said, great debate on the episode. Your terminology describing Lucas says it all. I will use a Kiss analogy to make my points. Lucas was the artistic Paul Stanley early in his career, and Jason gives more credit to the artistic genius. However, Glenn seems to be more making his marketing genius of Gene Simmons. I think you're both right to a degree, but Lucas has said before he's turned to the dark side, Gene, over the course of years of his career, and I think the SE what
Special edition
special edition was solely about testing the technique and, in quotes, making lots of money.
technology,
Yeah,
not technique.
I'm testing the tech.
Sorry.
You're a bit like I said, dude. Don't make me read stuff.
Do you want me to finish?
No, I got it because it's only like 3 sentences left, and people are probably in their car dying laughing because I don't read good. I was always the kid in class where they came when it was time to read. I was like, skip over me, forget I'm here, trying to hide, and they're like, no, read, and kids would laugh at me because so PTSD anyway. To make the gap between the OT and PT seem more seamless. The fan response to the prequel trilogy just led to his farewell tour with the Clone Wars Rebels, and now he's living the high life and collecting his check. So, and then where else did he go? You were just like, I don't understand any of this analogy.
Yeah,
So then
I don't follow it. I don't. Gene Simmons, I know, is just like here's the Kiss of coffin. If you want to be buried in a Kiss coffin, you can have a Kiss coffin.
at least you do the voice, so you know the voice. But yes,
I
it
do
is.
know.
It's like
I do know that much.
right. So you do. So it is true because you've got Paul Stanley who was writing all the songs, and then Gene Simmons was like, "Here's a coffin. Here's condoms. Here's underwear. Here's socks. Here, yeah, you want the T-shirt, but we're gonna get you coming and going for every penny you have." And people went crazy for Kiss, just like we go crazy for Star Wars. Because you know damn good and well, when we die, if there's a Star Wars coffin available, we'll be buried in it.
No,
You don't think so?
no. Just put a Star Wars sticker on it. That's fine.
Well, if it's available and if it's affordable, I plan on being cremated. But yes, put a Star Wars sticker on my urn or something, man. Do something fun.
Yeah, I don't know if that. I think I don't know if that describes the point that I was trying to make though, because it wasn't really about marketing and testing tech. It was more about if he didn't do the special editions, would Star Wars have fallen into like, oh, that's just an old thing from the 70s. Kids today wouldn't care about Star Wars like they do
Well,
at
that's
all.
what makes him a marketing genius, though. But yes, okay. So we've got, yeah, I can see your point.
But I don't know if I mean like a marketing genius. I don't know if he was doing this because he's like, this is what I have to do. I think he's so stuck in his storytelling and saying like, this was 80% of what I wanted. I need to finish the 20%. And he was just focused on finishing the 20%. He didn't care what people thought. He didn't care about marketing. He was just like, I just want to see the full vision of Star Wars that I had in my mind.
Yeah.
He was stubborn and thick-headed, I guess, is my point. Maybe.
So he was just like the author who keeps going back to his books 20 and 30 years later and redoing them
Yeah.
because he thought of something else.
Who does that?
I don't know.
No. But yes, that's the exact same thing. But I don't know. I think inadvertently the marketing thing applies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my 2 cents. I'm sorry, Gary
Sorry.
Randy.
So who was the marketing genius behind Star Wars? Was it Hasbro or was it one of the other companies? Or
The marketing genius? I don't know if there is marketing genius. I think it was just lightning in a bottle. He gave up his directing fee for the marketing for what do you call it?
the rights?
Merchandising rights.
Yeah.
I don't think he sat there and said this is going to be $1 billion earner someday.
Hmm.
I think he just wanted to get the movie made. Nobody wanted the merchandising rights, and he's just like, in the off chance this resonates, maybe I can make a couple extra bucks that way than this way. He also kept on to the sequel rights as well, so 20th Century Fox couldn't take that from him.
Right.
And so I think it's just I think all the stars lined up perfectly for him
Hmm.
inadvertently, and that's just my 2 cents. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, because you do, I'm gonna bring it back to music. You do have, you were saying he kept his rights to the trilogy. Um, you have that happen a lot with music because you want to have an album made. You'll give the rights up to the music, and then you're not making any money on the album.
Right. So, and then Kenner came along and they started producing things and it took off and everybody was like, well, I want to make some Star Wars money. So they started licensing underoos and wallpaper and sheets and bed sheets and stuff like that,
Mm.
t-shirts. And yeah, it just took off. And I think he just got lucky.
Okay.
My 2 cents.
No, it makes sense. Literally. But bum. Um,
It makes 2 pennies.
2 pennies. There you go. It made a lot more than 2 pennies for George. I mean, here we are 50 years later, still discussing Star Wars and still having it all over the place.
I was watching someone who said that he was making millions, which is a lot of money in the 80s and
Mm.
90s. But it wasn't until the prequel trilogy came along that he started making billions.
Yeah.
That's when he started making some real money with Star Wars.
Well, I mean, because you had,
It's all relative.
we had kids and the kids wanted Star Wars toys. And we're like, oh, you want Star Wars toys? I want Star Wars toys. So you're buying 2 and 3 of everything.
I want to rephrase that because like it's a weird scale. Millions is real money, billions is like unreal money. And that's when he started making unreal money in the 90s with the prequel trilogy. He was making real money with Star Wars.
Right. He was doing good, but he started doing like, oh my God.
He's doing phenomenal with the prequel trilogy.
Right. And then, like I said, it was because of people like us who grew up with it and, oh, we want these toys. And then our kids wanted the toys. And,
Yeah,
so you were double and triple buying things because you wanted your kids to have what you had.
right.
Um, so anyway,
How long have we been recording?
we're right. We're right. I mean, if you're bored and you got nothing else, I'm not bored, but if we got nothing else to talk about, we're right. We're like 45 minutes. I need to figure out. There used to be a timer on
There
Zoom, and
used
I
to be.
guess it, huh?
Yeah, I'm agreeing. There used to be.
And it went away. So I guess I got to look and see if somewhere in the settings I can throw the timer back up, so we can at least know how long we've been recording. But I think we're like at 45 minutes. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't want to like overdo it and then force things out, but I mean, we can find something to talk about for 15 minutes, I'm sure. It's I like we were talking with Ted. I just think like we should be prepared.
yeah, I know, and I've had the conversations with like Jordan, because his podcast that he does, Making Mutineers, is like every other week, and he's like, that's the way to do it because you just we're prepared. We got 2 weeks to prepare. So I mean, sometimes during the summer, I'm like, should we push it to every other week? But I mean, I don't know because there's not a whole lot going on. But then I kind of like coming on here and semi being prepared. Uh,
I guess I could talk about taking over the Daily Dose. You've done that.
Yeah, I've done it. That
So
gets really hard really
it
fast.
does. Well, like I guess I'll be honest, it's a little bit I don't want to be showboaty. I don't want to be like, look at me, I got this. Look at me, I got this. Look at me, I got this. It's just like,
Right.
is there a way to start a Star Wars conversation around the Daily Dose?
Well,
And
why
I
don't we
think
discuss what the daily dose is real
the
quick?
Daily Dose is a thing that we post in the Georgia Alliance. It's something that Narayan started, and he did it for years, where he would post one thing every day on the club page, just your daily dose of Star Wars. Here's a Micro Machine thing. Here's a custom piece. Here's a patch. Whatever the thing was, um, Narayan would post it. But then he's taken a step back, and over time, the club has continued that tradition, but we're asking different members to feature things. Dan Lowe did it. Kiadi Randy did it. You've done it. TK did it.
Hmm.
And so now it's kind of fallen to me, but it's just, it feels showboaty because it's like, look what I got. Guys, look at this. Look at what I got. And it feels a little disingenuous, but at the same time, that's the point. It's just show things and start conversations.
Yeah. No, I get it, man, because it's hard. Um,
Lewis did it too, by the way.
yeah, Lewis did it, and you're kind of like, do you want to show this stuff? And then you get to a point where, like, the first couple of weeks, it's easy because you're just taking a bunch of pictures and posting them, and you've learned real quick that you can schedule them and you can knock it out in a half hour. Um, and then, like, when you get to that third and fourth week, you're like, what am I posting now? And it's like you get to the point where do people want to see this? Or, you get to the more common items, and yeah, do you want to show off all the really high end stuff you've got and be showboaty, or do you want to be like, I've got common stuff too? Um, but I thought it was funny because as soon as I saw your post, I was like, Jason, and oh, Jason posted
Yeah, it's my post.
that. Because it was funny because Deal or No Deal, they had all the Galactic Heroes prototypes that popped up, and everybody's posting me in it. I'm like, I've got all those.
Well, now you can have two.
Yeah. And I'm like, part of me is like, wow, those are going for a lot of money. But then nobody bought them. So they sat there. I did have somebody message me that there was a wax sculpt and a mold that's on eBay for Galactic Heroes, but it's already out of my price range, and it's still got 3 days left. It'll probably go to for four or $500.
There's some micro machine art that I was interested in, but I'm going to Disney in a couple weeks, so I can't really afford that right now because I'm going to Disney.
Yeah, look at you. I'm going to Disney.
Look at me. I'm good. Daily dose. I'm going to Disney.
You guys decide if you're going to go to Epic?
No, we haven't decided yet. I think I'm leaning no,
Hmm.
just because it's going to be $1,000 or more for the entire family, and I'm just like, there's other ways to spend that money.
Yeah, I got you.
And it's the summer. There's no shade. If
Oh,
things rain, everything closes down. So there's just a lot of things where I'm like leaning probably no.
gotcha.
We'll see.
Well,
I
if you
could be
do,
convinced otherwise.
yeah. Well, if you do go, I've heard that even though it says sold out on the website, you can go to the ticket gate and they'll sell you tickets. Just FYI. So how are you doing on your daily dose? Let's get back to that. Are you I mean, have you done to where you schedule it, or you just
Yes, I've scheduled up until Friday of this week. And then so I got to figure out what's next week and the week beyond. I have enough, and I think I might start doing like character focus things.
yeah, that's cool.
Maybe I'll do like a cantina week or something.
Yeah, I could see doing that.
So we'll see.
Yeah, because you know where I was when I ended up giving that up. I was in Epic when I gave up doing the daily dose because I'd run out of pictures, and it was just
Yep.
yeah. So no, it's fun to do, but it is daunting. It's a very daunting task because it's like, what do you think people want to see? And you're trying to toe that line. Do you want to be showboaty? What do you want to show people?
I
And what do you
might
think
do,
they'd enjoy?
yeah,
Go.
I might do like a Power of the Force 2 week with variants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. I just got to get creative with it and
Mm-hmm.
try to. My goal is to try to do a month at least.
Right.
I got
Well, you've
enough
got
in the,
enough stuff.
I got enough stuff in there probably to do a year.
Well, you see, and then that's the other thing. It's like when you focus, like some like my Wampa collection, do you take a picture? Because I just took a picture of the whole collection, but you can focus a week just going into that one collection because there's like seven, there's week 7 days. So if you take 7 items, and I've got 7 items,
But there's 7 different Wampa items, right?
right?
Yeah. So you could have done that.
Yeah. And
Or
I don't
maybe
know
you
if I
could do
did
that
or
when this
didn't.
is over. When my turn's over, you could probably do it.
Yeah,
I can do a Salacious week.
exactly.
I'm going to do that.
There you go. Because nobody collects that angry Kermit.
Nobody does that. Nobody does micro machines. So that's why I'm focusing on that stuff. But
Gotcha.
yeah, we'll
And it
see.
is it is funny. It funny, scary because like you focus on something and you want that to be, you find a niche like your micro machines and my Bill and Ted that nobody knows about or not many people know about. And then you're scared because it's like the more you share, the more people know about it. And then do you want it to grow, but you don't want to miss out on stuff. You know what I mean? You want it to be your thing, but you want other people to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I want to keep prices low. I don't want prices to
exactly. Well,
increase.
prices are low right now, man. You definitely are seeing, prices I think settle again. I know we were talking to Second Chance the other day, the guys at Second Chance, and they were saying that they're getting a lot of Star Wars in. So he's not sure if people are just trying to get rid of stuff or if people need money or what, but he's saying he's starting to see a lot more Star Wars walk in the door.
They were saying Transformers seem to go fast, right?
Yeah, Transformers seemed well, they just can't keep them in and I think Transformers have a lot more parts than Star Wars, so that may be the deal too. They're trying to make sure they have complete sets.
And they were also saying Joes go fast, or Joes are the thing that are hot right now.
I think. Or maybe because they were at Joe Fest that they were thinking Joe's.
Maybe.
But they were saying that Joe, when they go to Joe Fest, they try not to bring a whole bunch of GI Joes because everybody's got GI Joes. So
Yeah.
there again, it's hard.
It's counterintuitive, but I think it's a winning strategy because, like you're saying, when everybody else has Joes, people are just going from booth to booth and seeing which one has it for $30 versus 35, and it's probably a good idea to bring other things so people are like, oh yeah, I wanted that too. I wanted that Dino Rider or whatever the case is.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, hopefully we'll see you at the summer social, which is
Yes.
this Saturday. If not, hopefully we'll see you at Rogue Fun, which is the following May.
Exactly.
We got a lot going on, and I can't wait to start talking about what we've got planned
Yeah.
for that weekend.
And like you said a while ago, it's a lot different this go around because we have so much more time to plan for it. Where last time it was 6 months. This time we got a year and 6 months.
Yeah. So
It'll be fun.
with that, we'd just like to thank you for listening to the Smuggler's Galaxy podcast. If you could, please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen. It really helps us out and points people to our show. You can follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Send us an email or message us. We love feedback, and we love to make you part of our show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the Smuggler's Galaxy logo. Thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. This is the way.
This is the